King Henry deserves all the praise today. We have got to talk about Derrick Henry, Michael, who is doing something in a quarterback passing league that we thought you weren't supposed to be doing anymore. That running backs aren't supposed to be doing. Workhorses are a dying breed. This dude has 260 more rushing yards than anybody else in the NFL. His last 5 games, 35 carries, 28 carries, 33 carries, 29 carries, and 20 carries. He's got three touchdown games in his last 5 games. But wait, there's more. Michael, this stuff gonna blow your mind, okay? He's on pace for 22-19. Now, I know that there's a 17th game this year. That would break Eric Dickerson's record from 1984 of 2105, right? And then make him the first player with consecutive 2,000-yard seasons. But here's the thing. Even if there were only 16 games, he would be on pace for 2,088, all right? He's on pace for 459 carries. Larry Johnson has a record of 416. And if you pay attention, I know you are, at his current rate, since becoming a starter of 102.1 yards per game, he would surpass Emmitt Smith's record, which is thought to be maybe unbreakable, both in terms of longevity and the evolution of the game. He would break that record in 2028 at age 34, and that's a year younger than Emmitt Smith was when he retired. How are somebody that big clocking the fastest time of a ball carrier in the NFL? I mean, Michael, he's got to be at the forefront of the MVP conversation, and no running back has won it since Adrian Peterson in 2012. But I mean, it's just mind-blowing, the stuff that he's doing. He's already the most productive runner in NFL history over a 40-game span. He's on his way to accumulating the most rushing yards ever over a 3-year period and becoming the first ever running back to lead the NFL in rushing and scores during that same stretch. Michael, we've seen examples of running backs in particular who've had their careers cut short for whatever reason and yet still been considered all-time great. Gale Sayers and Terrell Davis come to mind. Not only should he come up more often in best player in the league conversations, which a lot of times it's quarterbacks and Aaron Donald, right? Not only should he come up more often in that conversation, but he's already making a Hall of Fame case. He's already a Hall of Famer. I know in terms of knowing it when you see it. I know he doesn't have the longevity a la Curtis Martin, okay? I know he doesn't have the playoff moments. But in terms of what he has done over the last 3 years, it's safe to say he's already the best player, one of the best players to ever carry the football, and he's doing it in an era where nobody's doing it like he's doing it right now. I mean, he's already a freak. I mean, he's an alien, as Mike Tomlin likes to say. So with all due respect to Earl Campbell and Eddie George and a Nigerian Nightmare, please tell me somebody who's been that big, but nobody's been that big and that fast. I mean, he's Jim Brown in 2021. The way Jim Brown looks on film, in black and white film, running against players back in his day, that's how Derrick Henry looks throwing people aside in 2021. Cannot say enough about King Henry.
Yeah, look, he's a winner. He is definitely a winner. That's one. But here's the other thing about Derrick Henry. And see, like, there's some things that are happening clearly. There's some things that are happening in football right now that just bother me. They bother me. The fourth down thing, the fourth down explosion bothers me. And you know what else bothers me? The judgment that comes to teams who value running backs. See, like, everything has kind of gone too far. I can see the evolution. I can see evolving where you don't emphasize the running back position as much in a passing league. But like any other type of innovation, sometimes people rely on it too much as if the previous has no value. So if you draft a running back in the first round in 2021, especially in the top 10, people look at you sideways. Like, what are you doing drafting a running back in the top 10? I would suggest to you that if the Tennessee Titans had drafted Derrick, knowing what they know now about Derrick Henry, and they had like a top 5 pick, and they draft Derrick Henry, if he's coming out next year, they draft Derrick Henry in the top 5, people would say, oh, wait a minute. The Titans don't know what they're doing. If Walter Payton came out today and were drafted in the top 5, Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, the way people talk about running backs today is so ridiculous and absurd. And I think Derrick Henry, one of the reasons I have so much respect for him and the Titans is because they're proving that you can still win, you can still have a modern approach to football and rely, as Mike Vrabel said, rely on a running back as your primary offensive piece. I know the Titans have wide receivers who are very talented, like the sublime Julio Jones and A.J. Brown. I know that. I know they got a really good offensive line. Ryan Tannehill has reinvented himself as a winning quarterback. But if I look at the Tennessee Titans and I think about how to stop them, I'm looking at Derrick Henry. I'm happy for him.
Good luck.
And I'm happy
Good luck.
for the Titans on the way they're building.
And he's evolved. And he's evolved. He's become a factor in the passing game.
Okay.
And one more stat as we go to break. One more stat as we go to break. So last night, that 21+ mile an hour touchdown run, fastest ball carrier in the league. That was his 6th career 70-yard rushing touchdown. He passed Barry Sanders and O.J. Simpson for 3rd most ever. Adrian Peterson and Chris Johnson with 7 are the only players with more. So 6'3", 250, whatever he is among the all-time leaders for 70+ yard touchdown runs. That does not compute. That's unfair. That's a creative player. That's incredible.